Welcome to Taxidermy Truths, where we discuss the ins and outs of not only the taxidermy process, but the influences on the hunting community as a whole. With over 25 years in the wildlife and taxidermy industry, I host open conversations with artists, experts, and industry giants. From sustainable utilization to shipping rates, we dig into the reality of the experience after the safari and hear real stories worth remembering. Hi there, welcome to episode 3 of Taxidermy Truths. My name is Douglas Cocroft from Splitting Image Taxidermy. Today's conversation is around the Pure Taxidermist. One of the questions that was posed to me a while back was, how did I decide to become a taxidermist? Just the snippets of the conversation, I remember it going in the direction of them saying, did you go out and were you looking for an opportunity? And then saw that there was a gap for a taxidermist. As I said in in fact, I think in the first podcast, I needed to find something in business that I was passionate about. But the fact of the matter remains, the minute I got into taxidermy, I realized without a shadow of a doubt, I want to be a taxidermist. And the business almost came second when considering the journey ahead of me. If I'd considered the business, I don't think I would have pursued taxidermy as aggressively as I have, or the surrounding add-ons to the taxidermy business, whether it's furniture or tech development or replicas or tanning or any of these aspects. So at the end of the day, Splitting Image Taxidermy is a pure taxidermy business. We are creative. We love taxidermy, the art of taxidermy. Taxidermy means the movement of skin. The fact that we've invested countless hours and an incredible sum of money in understanding the best way, the best methods to preserve skins, hides, to create mannikins, how to create lifelike, beautiful taxidermy where the anatomy is accurate and it's correct. We created the product, and then the market came to us. We didn't have an existing market and then decided to open a taxidermy to take advantage of a captive market. And I'm sure in business and in the textbook business model, there would certainly be a scenario where they say, as an entrepreneur, you find an opportunity in a marketplace. You hedge your opportunities off the fact that you have a captive audience, and then you create the product. So hypothetically speaking, let's say you have and we see a lot of them on Instagram, these gym health and fitness personalities, and their longest relationship has been with the mirror, to be perfectly honest. And these people create these amazing followings, and then they'll sell a health product or gym wear, or they'll get endorsed and sell a product because they have a big following. We didn't have a big following at all. We just had big dreams of creating beautiful taxidermy work. That was the focus, and it is still the focus today, to create anatomically correct, beautiful animal artistry. From the mannequin, to the way we tan skins, to the detail we put into each mount so that our work stands apart from our competitors. And that attention to detail is what has attracted the market, as opposed to, as I said, having a market and then trying to make more out of the market at our fingertips. With social media and the speed at which the World Wide Web and all of these sort of platforms work, it's created more entrepreneurs than ever before, because people look at these platforms and they see other businesses doing well and they think, oh, I can do well. I can do something like that. They may not be taxidermists. They certainly might not be doing the animal justice. They haven't invested in the animal and in creating something beautiful. They do about a 60% job and they market it at a lower price. In one of the podcasts that I've done previously in conversations with other hosts, as well as in this business, there are three aspects we consider: product, service, and price. You can't have all three. You can only choose two. We've always put the product first, then service, because we're always very grateful for the support we've had over the years. But our prices remained, by comparison, marginally higher in order to accommodate the fact that we invest in the art form. Splitting Image Taxidermy's art director, Travis, is probably, I'll say this clearly, is the top sculptor and taxidermist in Africa. That I can be assured of. You can be assured of. And I would certainly put him up against the best in the world. And that's saying something, because there are some amazing artists out there, people I respect tremendously. Travis is a pure taxidermist, as pure as you'll find. On one of our future podcast series that is coming up, we'll have Travis in studio and we'll be spending time chatting to him about his journey and how he's taken taxidermy and sculpting to an entirely different level. But the fact remains, as a company, Splitting Image Taxidermy is a pure taxidermy business. When folks come in and they hunt a basic plains game package in Africa, kudu, wildebeest, zebra, warthog, impala, springbuck, those animals mean something to the client. They mean something to the hunter. That experience has an incredible value. Whether you shoot an impala or you shoot a beautiful sable, a buffalo, hey, you might be shooting high-profile, expensive animals. Each animal is the same to us because we have the opportunity to create something beautiful of the impala. Because to that hunter, that experience is so closely tied to that animal that we must respect the animal. We must make that animal as perfect as we possibly can. Yes, we do a lot of impala, and they are commonplace in Africa. Anyone who's been on a game drive will attest to this. There are impala around every corner in Africa. They are everywhere. And thankfully so, because lions and leopards need to eat, and impala breed fast. So it's a great food source. It's a great animal in our ecosystem. But when you hunt them, it's a tough hunt. And it has memories attached, memories that are worth remembering. And those memories are what we thrive on. That's what feeds a pure taxidermist, not the profit of the impala, but the opportunity to create something beautiful. Running a profitable business allows a company to invest back in the art form. That's the reason we don't play the price card. To compete with numerous competitors in South Africa and internationally, the business model of competing with price doesn't work, because you need to reinvest in the art form. And as a pure taxidermist, there are costs involved. As a simple example, and you'll see this coming up on a series soon, as well as on our social media feeds, we're busy with a sculpture of a brand new Nyala full mount mannequin. we've taken the entire skeleton of a nyala that we harvested. We've created the mannequin around the skeleton to ensure that the proportions are exact. We've projected muscle structures onto walls to get the details of muscles that have been sculpted into the mannequin. The materials we're using are the best there are. The artist doing it is the best there is. And the product that we plan on completing within the next 2 months, I can confidently say, will be the most incredible nyala mannequin on the planet today, because I believe in the purity of what our artists are capable of doing. So we're a pure taxidermist. We have a lot of folks who drop us a mail and say, we're considering doing taxidermy in South Africa. We've heard a lot of negative stories. What's your take on this? Our take is simple. We invest in the art form. We love what we're doing. We are very familiar with African species. Me personally, I have mounted elk, but I have to admit, my elk have a bit of a kudu look about them, because I'm so used to looking at a kudu as opposed to an elk. When we mount a leopard, we understand the nuances of a leopard. It's a magnificent cat. I've mounted mountain lions, but somehow there's still a bit of leopard in them. That said, I know some incredible taxidermists in the United States who specialize in mountain lions, and their work is magnificent. The funny thing for me is I see mountain lion in their leopards. The exact opposite. So I have a lot of respect for pure taxidermists. We are pure in terms of the fact that we love African wildlife. We're familiar with African wildlife. We're pure in terms of the fact that we created a product, and that product attracted the market. We're pure in terms of the fact that our focus is to be recognized as one of the world's leading authorities in taxidermy of African wildlife, whilst we still respect and appreciate everybody within our industry and everyone who contributes in an artistic form to respecting wildlife. The second series past of the podcast, we discussed the value of the animal. As a pure taxidermist, I believe it is our salute to the animals, and it's our way of assisting in maintaining the value of our precious wildlife in Africa. I believe in the United States, the white-tailed deer conservation model through responsible managed hunting is one of the greatest conservation acts that has happened in recent history. And to the taxidermists that do such incredible work on these whitetails, the purists who focus on the whitetails to create those small details that make those mounts so impressive. We salute those artists because they're like us, pure taxidermists. They're not just there to squeeze another dollar out of a hunter's pocket. They're there to put a memory back on the wall, something that you can cherish, something that when you look at it, you get that smile, that warm, fuzzy feeling, and you remember the moments around that hunt, whether it's at the campfire, with people you met, out in the bush, the cold mornings, hiking up mountains in the snow, whatever it is to you. Those are the moments that inspire us as pure taxidermists. Thanks for spending time with us. I really appreciate it. These are some of the taxidermy truths. You're always welcome to leave a comment at the bottom. If there's any topics you'd like us to discuss with you, drop us a note. Take a look at our social media feeds. Instagram, Facebook. Believe it or not, we're even on TikTok now. So that's something I never ever thought that we'd be sitting here saying that we're on TikTok. But we're everywhere. We're out there. And we're spreading good news, and we're doing as much good for the industry as we possibly can, together with hunters from all over the world. Thank you.